despise rapists. For me, you're somewhere between a cockroach and that white stuff that accumulates at the corner of your mouth when you're really thirsty. But in your case, I'll make an exception.
Welcome to the Regular or Menthol podcast, where we discuss Kino movies. My name is Tate, and my co-host is Chris.
Hi, folks.
We give our thoughts on the movie. We'll bring up a bunch of scenes that we like, followed up with our very own Kino rating. Today, we are discussing Con Air, 1997, starring Nicolas Cage, John Malkovich, and John Cusack. God bless you. How are you, Christina? This is your first week in a new position in life. My God.
Yeah, folks.
Exciting changes.
Tate and I have split up professionally. I'm onto a new endeavor. It's closer to my house, which is nice. But yeah, it's been a
How's your office?
Pretty standard. I got a pretty cool office. Have a nice window for once.
They give you the big corner office.
Nah.
Here comes Big Chris. Give him the corner office, obviously.
No corner office. I got a nice spot though. Can't complain. But I did take my 34-inch curved monitor into my office because I'm like, I can't do editing without this thing. It just wouldn't be the same. So I brought home like two 24-inch monitors and kind of set them up side by side, but they suck. So I'm just going to buy another 34-inch. Don't care. But yeah, no, it's cool, man. It's change of pace, but you know, do kind of.
How's the coffee?
Coffee's for closers. I bring in my own coffee every day. I did that at the other office, but yeah, man, it's just doing the shit that I love, which, you know, it makes it easy. Day goes pretty easy. But I'll tell you what, it's how you making out with your snow over there. That's more to the question.
Oh, it's funny. It's like I went for an incel walk last night at like 10 o'clock. And I'm walking by my neighbor's house and I'm noticing these two cars are just still completely snowed in. Like, what the fuck? Like, don't people do what we do we shovel multiple times?
Nope. No.
You get a blizzard designation coming your way. You better be prepared to shovel 2, maybe 3 times during the actual blizzard.
I'll give you a quick story. I got a neighbor. And so the way I shovel is like last weekend we had a snowstorm and it was probably a couple inches max. So I went out 3 different times, shoveled, made sure, because it came back like twice. This past weekend was 12 inches, right? So again, shoveled 3 separate times.
The big one,
right? So the final shoveling I did was I was going to do it at night and then I did it the next morning. To make a long story short, I shoveled around, because we're in like townhomes, so it's like, you know, people's cars are kind of like right against each other. And I shoveled in between my wife and I's car, in between my car and the one neighbor. She's a little bit older, so I try to help her out. I just do her car all the time. And then besides my wife is my other neighbor, this dude who's probably like 25. Bro, I shoveled between her car and his all the way through. Literally, like took it and heaved it over into my yard.
Yeah.
I shoveled against his car and there was snow. Like, I didn't push it under his car. It was just under his car from, you know, it's right up against it. Don't you know, this dude comes out and I just see him kind of pushing it. Dude pushed it right to the middle in between and just left it there.
Oh, God. You know, I mean, it's like you see this kind of thing and you're like, dude, how did people survive this long in life?
It's a great question. It's a great question. And you know what? Dude's super cool. He's like really nice. It made me realize, I came to this realization this week that like some people just, they don't even think that far ahead. So they're just not going to get it.
Yeah, they don't get it.
They don't get it. Right there it is. Adding insult to injury. I get done shoveling that morning, getting ready for work. I must have power slammed my front door because the back windshield of my truck just shattered. Did I tell you this?
Yeah.
And it just shatters. And I'm just like, I'm not even surprised. It's like this loud pop, and I'm not even surprised at it. I just look over, I'm like, of course.
But you know what that is? That's like you've had actually superpowers your whole life, but something has been suppressing them. And
dude,
something in the weather, the air pressure, and reactivated them.
I'm thinking about it. I was like, yeah, that can't just be from like, because we're having freezing temperatures and it's like single digits. And I'm like, okay, this shit can't, there must have been some crack. There had to have been. There's just no way that I shut that. And it completely shatters. I mean, it wasn't like splintered. It just like, it let out. So moral of the story, folks, is wintertime, single digit temperatures, just go easy on your doors. Because I shut it pretty hard. I always do that. It's like my thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like unbelievable. Fortunately, I found a local glass place, drove it over there. They were like, yeah, we'll get you done today. It was like $100 less than that auto or safe light or whatever that comes out to where you're at.
Mm-hmm. Where was it?
Dude, it was literally maybe 15 minutes from my house.
No shit.
Royersford. And dude, they were awesome. They did it in like less than a day. Like, yeah, just come pick it up tonight. Dude was super cool.
That's a community.
Community $350, local place, $350. It was going to be $450 for safe light. I was like, this is a win.
He's like, I'll throw in some tints for you.
There you go. Well, it was the heated glass. And the other one wasn't heated from safe light. Long story short, yeah, it was great. So, community, yeah. Always go with the mom and pop shops. But yeah, anyway, let's get into this movie. Con Air. Tell me about the description of this thing.
An Army Ranger goes home for leave and beats his wife at a bar. He's then immediately forced to defend himself against 3 gooners and winds up killing one. Sure enough, the judge gives him 7 years for self-defense. Oh, wow. After 7 years of working out in his cell, he's giving parole, but he has to take the trip home on a plane full of lifer convicts, like real murderer type people. The convicts take over the plane pretty easily, but instead of leaving when he has the chance, he decides to stay behind so he can make sure his housemate gets some insulin. After some thought, he decides to save the day, crash the plane on the Vegas Strip, somehow avoid any casualties, kill the bad guys, and meet his daughter at the end for the first time to give her a crappy rabbit for her birthday present.
That's like the longest description you've ever done. Yeah, I mean, that's the movie in a nutshell, folks.
Oh my God, dude. This is your favorite Nick Cage movie?
Yeah.
Is that real?
I was saying that before. I love Face Off. I really do. But this one gets like a slight edge. I don't know what it is, man. It's supporting cast of schizos always helps.
Yeah.
Conceptually, though, I do like this movie. I don't know if there's ever been a concept like this before 1997, but I'll tell you what. This is my Nick Cage movie, for sure.
This is the part of the holy trinity of Nick Cage movies in the 90s.
It is.
The Rock, Face Off, and this.
It is called the holy trinity.
And this one's your fave.
This is my fave. It's not yours. You like Face Off better, which is why we did Face Off.
I don't know. I don't know. Because then when I think about it, I'm like, conceptually, I like Face Off the best, but I think I like The Rock the best.
Yeah, fair enough. They're all three. They're all great.
Just in terms of like raw, actual, full movie, the whole package. I like The Rock. I think I like the conception of Face Off better though, because it's so absurd.
Well, and the thing of it is you mentioned the Holy Trinity, but it's like Nick Cage. Which one is he more insane in? Which movie? It's like he's not insane in this movie per se, but he just gives this insane Alabama accent, which he traveled to Alabama and hung out for like a month or something. I'm like, this is what he came up with. I don't know that he needed to do this. Maybe he just decided to. Nick Cage is so cringe that he's awesome, in my opinion.
Yeah. This accent is I think the most Nick Cage thing in this movie, possibly out of all 3 of these movies, because it's like, what was it even necessary at all? No. Was it actually necessary for this dude to be Southern?
No. I don't even think that his wife, I got to go back and listen to some of her dialogue, but I don't even think she talks with a Southern accent, honestly.
It's hard to tell. It's like, what?
First time watching this movie, you remember your first viewing of this masterpiece?
Yeah, I mean, I just watched it. I mean, I think I watched it with my dad at some point after this came out, because I remember him kind of ranting about it while he's going on while the movie's going on,
of course,
as he's apt to do. But more importantly, it's just kind of like one of those movies that I've seen 100 times because it's always on TBS.
Yeah.
TNT.
Same.
I think you share that sentiment.
Yeah, well, that's probably the first time I can't remember specifically, but this is probably, I'm like 13, 14 years old, and this is like a major network, USA or something. It comes on at nighttime. I'm like, all right, kind of captivated by this. It's like a very cool action movie. I get down with this. You know what I mean? Wasn't big into movies when I was younger, but I'm like, this is entertaining enough,
Yeah.
Literally, me character. Who do you got? I think I know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of Cyrus the Virus. Would you agree with me in this assessment that 95% of the time I'm probably Rust from True Detective, but 5% of the time when I don't even know if you've ever seen me get angry before, but if it does happen, it's usually in a very Cyrus sarcastic prick
Yes,
way.
100%, dude. I've seen this before when you you don't really show a lot of emotion, but when you do, it's literally just Cyrus. 100%. I agree. I'd have to go with Cameron Poe, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably have to do the same to try to get back to my wife and daughter. But obviously, I don't have this incredible accent. I don't think I'd be able to take on a whole plane of convicts, per se. But
I don't know, dude. You're just demonstrating super strength in the
breaking my windshield.
Yeah, the Homeowners Association is giving you a call about this super strength stuff. But
getting onto some of these fun facts, there's actually some interesting stuff in this movie. The role of Cameron Poe was originally offered to Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell, but both actors declined to appear in the film because both Stallone and Russell hated the script. Could you see either of these guys playing this role?
yeah, I kind of can, except I can't. The thing about it, and we'll probably just revisit this 100 times during this episode, is like I can see a movie where there's a convict that goes up against a bunch of plane full of convicts, and it's headed by Stallone or Kurt Russell.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't see it because I can't see them being like this Southern character.
Dude, imagine Stallone,
You know what I mean?
Stallone
Like,
with this accent.
yeah, so the fact that it's one way that Nick Cage kind of makes this his own thing. Is
Yeah.
he's just like, you know what? I want to make this weird Southern character, and then no one else will be able to see anyone else in this role.
Yeah, I could see Kurt Russell doing it, honestly.
Yeah.
Which would have been an interesting choice, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Nick Cage, this is his movie. This is his masterpiece for me. This film's dedicated to Phil Schwartz, an effects specialist who died during filming when a rigged plane fell and crushed him. This is actually the second Jerry Bruckheimer production where there's a plane-related death on set. So I guess Top Gun, there was a cameraman that died. So, same kind of thing in the Pacific Ocean. Kind of wild. Press F. John Malkovich turned down the lead role in Air Force One to do this movie. Thoughts on that?
See, that's one I just can't see anyone but Harrison Ford being in.
Yeah.
I assume you mean the Harrison Ford character?
Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah. Because John Malkovich just seems more of like a bad guy.
Yeah, he's always played the heel. Well, for the most part, but
I was thinking about that the other day, the movie Red with Bruce Willis, where there were these retired CIA guys. It's like, even him in that being a good guy, he's like this crazy schizophrenic person, and you don't exactly, he's about to pop off at any moment. So he's not necessarily like the best good guy.
Well,
he's not a true babyface in that movie.
I mean, we covered, what movie did we do? Burn After Reading with him. And I mean, he's not the bad guy per se, but he's definitely unhinged.
Right. He's he plays a great unhinged person.
He beat me straight up. Pay him. Pay that man his money. I mean, we definitely have to cover that movie at some point. Rounders. I mean, Teddy KGB.
Talk about accents.
All right. Yeah, he definitely, Harrison Ford, yes. It was the right decision. Because this character, Cyrus, is awesome. We'll get into that. Last one, writer Scott Rosenberg quit the film and came back at least 14 times. He, to this day, is still unhappy with the ending fire engine scene and the final Cyrus the Virus ending. But he's still proud and still loves the film. What are your thoughts on that?
I kind of agree with him. The fire engine scene is so dumb that I'm like, dude, it was going fine until this. But then 14 times though, dude, like that's a lot of uncertainty.
Who knows,
about
man?
your
Embellished probably. But anyway, let's get into the Kino scenes. We got a lot to cover.
Earlier, if you go back a couple episodes for The Wizard, I brought up how there's this theme I noticed where some average looking guy will have a dimed out girlfriend in these movies.
Yeah.
It simply makes no sense in my mind. Like ghosts, vampires, Godzilla, sure, I can believe it. I'll suspend my disbelief. But what I cannot accept, my friend, is that Seth Rogen is dating prime Amber Heard in Pineapple Express. I refuse to accept that. Okay?
Who wrote that movie?
That's probably Seth Rogen.
Well, there you go. There you go, dude. That's why. Every time, what is Knocked Up is the same thing where he's that hot chick. It's like, come on, dude. Seth Rogen. Unbelievable.
Why do I bring this up, though, folks? It's because I think Nick Cage falls into this category somewhat.
Yeah.
The difference the difference is that Nick Cage is just such a crazy motherfucker that like his aura, his charisma, dare I say it, his je ne sais quoi.
Oh yeah.
It's off the charts and it supersedes any kind of looks matching that I'm picking up on in my viewing of the movies. Like, for instance, this girl in this movie, his wife, is 10 out of 10, ultra hot.
Okay. Thank you.
She's so hot. And I'm like, holy shit, this is like, Nick Cage isn't like a bad looking dude, but I'm like, they keep pairing him up, The Rock, with some super attractive girl.
Right. I'm glad you mentioned that because I don't even need to ask the question, is she hot? This is Monica Potter. And looking at her IMDb, hasn't gotten a lot of work. I guess her prime was what, 90s, 2000s. And she didn't really get a lot of work, which is kind of disappointing. I don't think she's a horrible actress in this. I mean, that's not a big role, but you would think that this chick would have been, a little more around Hollywood because she hasn't, looking at her entirety of her career, hasn't done a lot. She did a couple TV shows, but definitely hot.
She didn't get clicked up with the guy.
The guy, right?
The guy. She didn't go to the hotel room, but maybe she just doesn't have the range. I don't know. But I can tell you one thing is that she is very attractive.
Yes.
And Nick Cage in this movie just looks like some dude with a receding hairline.
Well,
which we'll get to in a second.
If you're talking looks matching, are you talking about Seth Rogen? I can't judge dudes. Nick Cage, though, is kind of jacked in this. He's a horrible looking dude, so it's like, okay.
He's not.
We're not talking.
I guess I'm just like, I see this woman and I'm like, damn, she is super hot. Yeah. And I'm like, Nick Cage is just this like dude that's in the Army Rangers just coming, and she's just like, here he is, the love of my life. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, like, boy, when I saw this movie originally, my dad will be apt to kind of just nitpick things in movies, and then he'll just be like, well, you know why that happened? Because it's in the script.
No, tell me why.
And when this first scene comes on, I distinctly remember him saying something along the lines like, that would never happen. Like, he would never go to jail for this. Like, he was so sure of the fact that he was right regarding him not going to jail. I'm like, I kind of see his point. But then I watched it the other day for this podcast. So I'm like, damn, I don't know anymore. I don't know. Am I talking myself out of this?
Well, you know what it is, dude? It's a matter of there's no CCTV back in 97, right? It's a back of like a bar in Alabama. Okay, they're not going to have surveillance. So you get the wrong judge, and what do they say? His hands are lethal weapons for the dramatic effect. But it's like, you just don't know. You would think it's self-defense. I mean, he's an Army Ranger, came back, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people in the bar they would question who would obviously take his side. But you make a good point. This day and age, who knows?
Well, there's 3-on-1, right? So they start beating him and knock him into the ground, and he miraculously manages to get back up and get the upper hand. One of them pulls a knife, and he does this like uppercut into this dude's nose that kills him. And it's like, okay, now everyone in the bar that was a witness to these dudes messing with him earlier, they saw him kind of back down. Mm-hmm. So now no one knows what happened, because what the two dudes that were with the one guy that died, I didn't realize this. They show an extra scene where a little hand goes and grabs the knife from the ground and runs off. So there's no evidence. So now the cops get there and they're like, what happened?
Dude, you know what that is? That's called attention to detail with the writing. That would nowadays, and I know I'd be a dead horse with this, but that little detail would never show up in a movie nowadays, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just,
and mind you, this whole thing, it's easy to miss. You know why? Because it happens so quick. Yeah. Because they want to get through this real quick and not have you question anything.
Right. It's like 7 years.
They're in a court. Yeah, they're in a courtroom.
So the movie can happen.
And it just hits you with the logo, the movie logo flies in your face. You're like, oh, I guess that's over.
All right, he's a con. You know? Yep, he's okay. He's got it. 7 years. Got it.
Yeah, so I was like, damn, dude, I think that he would actually go to jail. I think he would go to prison for this.
one thing.
No one saw him kill the guy except him.
Yeah. So I've always questioned this, like your wrist shot to the nose, if that could kill somebody. Questioning that. My aunt, who was like beat cop in the 90s in the worst parts of Miami, would always like tell me and my brothers these, when we were like, we're literally kids, and we would go visit, and she's like telling us these wild stories, like showing us these crazy takedowns and shit. And
she's literally Miami Vice.
Literally, dude. And I vividly remember her telling us about this. Yeah, you just take a shot. This is, well, I would say well before 97, because this would have been probably like in the early 90s. And she's like, yeah, you just take your wrist and you just go right for their nose and it'll just eliminate them. I'm like, do I need to do that? Like, and I swear, I vividly remember her telling us this.
Imagine if you just like killed a couple people, just like, oh, like my aunt told me to do this.
God, so. But dude, getting back to this scene, there are, I think, two more important things that we glossed over. And for one, the dude, before they get in the fight, he literally calls him Gomer. Like, because he's in his military fatigue. He's like, Gomer. It's like, I just started dying when I heard that. I just noticed that today. He neutralizes the guy, and he's all three guys, and he's standing over top of them, bloodied. And it's like this shot where he's standing in the rain, and he's like screaming, Trisha! And it almost looks like he's blind and he can't see. I'm like, what is going on here? This is completely meta.
It was so. I mean, everything about this movie is over the top, insane. Literally, just every aspect of everything.
Yes.
This guy in the bar, he calls him Gomer, and it's like, I don't know if you heard this part, but he walks away and he's like, "You're the reason why people like you are the reason why we lost Vietnam."
Yeah, you know.
And it cuts back to Cage's face. He's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that dude, the guy they casted for that was just hero role for that.
Let's just have a quick discussion about Nick Cage's hair in this movie, shall we?
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it needs to be kind of addressed in every discussion about Con Air. The hairline is so goddamn insane. But, like, doesn't it make you question exactly how old Cameron Poe is? I kind of pick up on other stuff because I'm about to be bald maxing myself. But, like, I see this and I'm like, yo, how old is this dude? Right. How old is his wife?
Well, that's kind of what I was going for. So the daughter is supposed to be 7. Okay.
Yeah, so, when he's out of jail and everything.
Yeah,
and he
so
just comes out.
Say that she had her at 21. So she's 28.
Okay.
Let's say Nick Cage is in this early 30s. Let's call it that. This doesn't look like a 30-year-old dude to you?
Well, Nick Cage is supposed to be 33 when he's filming this movie. Like in real life.
Well, I got
think about that for a second.
I got news for you. He was 32 during filming.
Compelling and rich.
And you can see whites in his hair on the sides. It's like, you think they would have just, colored that in? He doesn't look 32, dude. I can tell you that much.
He looks pretty goddamn old for being, I don't know. That's just another aspect of the fact that he's banging this super hot wife.
Yeah.
And you're like, what's going on here? How old is she compared to how old he looks? I don't know. Maybe I'm obsessing too much about this dude's hairline.
Nah.
But the fact that then he comes out of prison and his hair's super long, and it just accentuates the fact that the hair in the front is receding to a large degree.
Is that a mullet?
What a style. What a hairstyle this is. This
like
is
a full
incredible
mullet
to me.
It's like a full mullet.
Yeah.
Because the hair goes all the way around.
It's impressive, dude. I mean, it just adds to the mystique of this character. But let me ask you this. So, like, if God gave Nicolas Cage a full head of hair, it'd be, like, unfair because he'd be too unstoppable. Feel me on that?
Too powerful.
Way too powerful, dude.
He has to have...
They got to nerf him.
Yeah, he has to have one flaw.
God nerfed him somehow. In some degree.
His hairline. And his ability to do accents. What is his accent in that? What's the movie where he's like the cop or the detective that you always quote?
Port of Call, New Orleans, where he's in New Orleans, and it's just I don't know what you would call this accent. Honestly, it's kind of just Nick Cage altered to Nick Cage is what I would call it. I don't know, is it Southern? Is it Louisiana accent? Not sure. It might just be him doing some weird iteration of his own voice. Speaking of hair, John Malkovich looking just mean as fuck in this movie.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Iconic look at the time. Bald with the goatee.
That's that Stone Cold. That's that Stone Cold. First thing you think of.
Stone Cold, Goldberg, and Cyrus the Virus. All pulled off the bald look incredible. Now, what is it about this look that makes bald okay?
I'll tell you what it is. It's the goatee, right?
Yeah.
Because nowadays, people who are bald, they try to rock the beard to go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you look tougher. But these are like Chads, right? Goldberg, Steve Austin, Malkovich, right? And it just they got these jaw lines, and it's like, okay, this is a badass dude. He doesn't need the full beard. He looks badass.
Yeah. I feel like the full beard is too much.
Yes.
Meaning, if you have that much hair on your face and no hair on your head, everyone's looking at it being like, this guy is coping and seething that he can't grow hair on his head. So he's trying to do it on his face instead. Whereas the goatee, it's like you're drawing the vision down a little bit because of this slight facial hair, but not too much where you're not hiding anything.
You're not seeing that look any time these days at all. I never see the goatee with a bald head. It was, I guess, just peak 90s.
I think Rod G might still be rocking the my friend Rodder. It is peak, though. You have to have a wide neck, kind of. I don't know if Malkovich does, but it's, at the end of the day, really, the ultimate, the final pill is the neck pill, my friends. That's it.
Just have a big neck.
Thoughts on John Cusack? Now, I personally, I'm a fan of John Cusack. Grosse Point Blank, big Grosse Point Blank fan. But then, every time I say, damn, this guy's just fell off, I haven't seen him in anything, I go on his IMDb, and this dude's been doing a movie every year. Do you ever notice that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. I'm not a huge fan. Is he a good actor? Yeah. I just don't think that I ever watched anything that he was in that I really liked a lot, or necessarily liked his character. Didn't he also, kill someone with a car or something? Did you ever hear that?
I think you're thinking of Matthew Broderick.
That's who I'm thinking of.
Who drove into someone head on in Ireland.
Yes.
And killed a lady and her
That's
mother.
who I'm thinking. Yep. Okay. Got my guys mixed up. I don't know. Yeah, Cusack's good, but I'm not, he's not like my guy, basically. But he definitely is a good actor, for sure.
He had his time in the 90s where he was kind of swaggy,
I did actually.
That time has passed.
I did read that he did not like this film. Not proud of it. Yeah. Does not like it at all.
Fucking dare he.
Yeah, dude. He does not talk about this film. So.
Really?
Side note. Yeah. Not sure why, because the movie absolutely rules, but yeah, man. That's a Cusack thing.
And I just want to make note that Cusack has a wicked suit in this movie, a tan linen suit, which, by the way,
you wore to my wedding?
Call is what I wore to your wedding.
Yeah, dude, that's a good look right there, man. Peak summertime, absolutely.
Peak summertime.
We have a hero actor alert. Colm Meaney, you know this guy?
Oh yeah, okay. He was in Layer Cake.
Yeah, so he's Agent Duncan Malloy. Props to whoever wrote the name, Agent Duncan Malloy, folks. What a great
name.
Yeah, great 90s movie name. And he's the perfect guy for this role. Pretty much throughout the movie, he's just screaming the whole time at Cusack. He's he's Point Blank. He's or Point Break. What's the agent's name?
Busey.
Yeah, Busey. But what's his character name?
Pappas.
Yeah, so he's literally him. He's that iteration for this. But you also get the Temu version of this guy in Drive 2011. The dude who plays Bernie. You see that parallel?
Oh yeah,
it's the same kind.
I do.
Of character.
It's alarming when you say that. I saw you wrote that. I was like, oh man, it's kind of weird when you see actors that kind of look the same and remind you of each other. And you're like, I think that Drive 2011, maybe it would have been better with Colm Meaney in it. I don't know.
Also, just a side note, you get Danny Trejo, a young Danny Trejo in this film, along with Chappelle. It's a pretty unique cast, I think. But good. And I did read that Chappelle ad-libbed 90% of his lines. Not that they were groundbreaking, but he just kind of, I don't know if they casted him late and just kind of threw him in there, like go off. But yeah, 90% of his lines were off the top.
He's getting up there.
Oh yeah, dude. Absolutely. Best line of the movie for me, Cyrus says, I don't know if you recall this part, but he goes, he's talking to Trejo, Johnny 23. He's like, I despise rapists. For me, you're somewhere between a cockroach and that white stuff that accumulates at the corner of your mouth when you're really thirsty. But in your case, I'll make an exception. Like, what a good line, dude. I love that line.
I'm a big fan of the fact that Cyrus just shits on all the convicts.
Yeah.
As much as he can.
Oh, yeah.
It's a movie. Dude. Because he thinks he's smarter than them.
But it's a really good character trait. And they explain that he, got his doctorate in prison. It's like, this dude is intelligent, right? And it's a good, they flesh out the character pretty well. You know what I mean? Which is, I think, kind of cool.
This dude, Danny Trejo, is just trying to rape this woman the whole movie. And you're like, boy, what an odd concept to have in a movie that's like a summer blockbuster.
Yeah, really.
That's a big main movie for the year. It's like, this is just a rapist who's just trying to rape this woman tied up in handcuffs. It's like, whoa, that's touchy subject.
Kind of, yeah.
It's like, oh, bro.
You probably wouldn't get a, pass with that nowadays, but it definitely works in the 90s, I feel like. That being said, did you ever know someone growing up that would get that white shit in the corner of their mouth?
That's a great question. I feel like not really, but I've seen it in real life. Okay.
Because there was this kid that I was friends with, and literally he would be talking and it would just happen constantly. Like,
what was his deal?
I don't know, but like all of our friends, because he was one of our friends, and it's like, bro, yeah, he's doing it again. It's like,
did you ever ask him? Did you ever like,
no,
hey, man,
dude,
I don't know if you know this, but you got like white shit in your mouth?
He probably, I think he did.
Someone back, it's happening again.
I think he probably knew, but he's just like, dude, literally, he would just get excited and like start talking a lot, and it would just like start to accumulate. And I'm like, bro, can I get you a drink of water? You sure you're not thirsty?
Maybe you're just dehydrated.
It's so weird, dude.
I've seen it in the wild.
Yeah. And, this is why this movie is like peak 90s, right? For me, it's kind of hard to describe, but it's like the filming of this, like when they take over the plane there, for example, right? It's like the insulin drops to the ground and it's like a slow motion shot where it like shatters, and Diamond Dog takes off the handcuffs and he stabs the one guard in the neck with a handcuff. And great practical effects, in my opinion, throughout this movie. Not that there's a crazy amount, but it just has that 90s, you know what I'm saying? Like it has that 90s kind of vibe, action movie vibe to it.
Yeah, where everything's practical looking. Yeah. And when Diamond Dog does that, he stabs the guy, it's not just totally viewable on screen. It's all frenetic. The camera's moving all over the place. So you feel the energy, the adrenaline of what the guy's feeling when he's getting stabbed.
Dude, you get a full feeling of chaos happening on this plane. Yeah. And like they definitely move around to each character and see what's going on. You have it's unnerving. It's like, holy shit, this is like chaotic. You have like the little explosions going on in the background, right? The little sparks flying and shit. It's like really well done. I just love these numbers.
And everything's real.
It is real.
It's not
100%.
That's a real plane. Well, I don't know if it's a real plane, but it's a real set.
Right.
And like, I guess everyone has talked about this and everyone's critiqued it and everything. But if you ever look at these Marvel movies and everything, it's just this giant green like warehouse.
Dude.
And they just put stuff in the background digitally.
I've been in these warehouses to film. And it's literally a green screen that's 100 feet high. And it just wraps around like a circumference of hundreds and hundreds of feet. And that's all it is, dude. The camera's it's just this empty warehouse. The camera's just pushing up against it. You don't have this coordinating on. This is definitely not, it's like a set of a plane, but you still have all this shit going on. It's chaotic.
Right.
So, respect.
Way more impressive looking, and it comes across on film.
100%, dude. Yeah. Gotta love it. Gotta love that 90s action.
Dude, so like there's one part where Diamond Dog tells Poe he's going to go rogue when they touch down at Columbia because Poe starts asking him like, why are you taking orders from Cyrus when you're a black supremacist? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Incredible. So when Poe sits back down, you notice that his friend Baby-O is sweating.
Yeah.
Looking more and more uncomfortable. like, can we get a reality check on this? Is this what happens when diabetics don't have insulin? And I was like, I need to ask our friend of the podcast, actual diabetes person, Cindy. I was like, yo, what is the deal with this? Is this real? Would this happen? She's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because they're giving him that he needs insulin, right?
Mm-hmm.
But wouldn't that be the case if he had high blood sugar and he has seemingly low blood sugar because he hasn't eaten anything all day?
Well, he's sweating because he's stressed out about the fact that he might not get his insulin. He's going to die. Also, everyone on the plane is sweating beforehand, so it must be super hot. Just saying.
And then after he takes the insulin, he's better in about a minute of screen time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that, but I feel like this is an over-exaggerated thing going on.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. We'll have to...
I don't know the parameters.
Diabetes research.
I don't have any insight when it comes to diabetes and insulin. I'm like, I don't even know what the hell insulin is.
I was just like, damn, is that what they need to do? They need to just take insulin every day, but then at what time? Or is it more after you eat, you need to take insulin so that or like an hour after you eat?
Yeah.
Is it more schedule on your feeding, or is it just once a day or whatever? These are the kind of questions I have, but I feel like they're not answered by this movie because he goes like, I didn't get my shot last night.
Yeah.
Meaning like there's some set schedule in prison. I'm going a little too far into this, but the point of it being like, is that what happens to diabetics? They just start going nuts and start sweating like this?
Well, they definitely cover the insulin thing like 100 times in this movie, down to where they're at the airstrip and the old guy's under the truck. He's like, I need a needle.
Yeah.
I need a needle. And then doesn't Baby O just get shot anyway? I don't know.
Yep,
does he die?
Immediately after it.
Yeah, so it's like, okay.
He doesn't die.
Okay, I thought...
Well, we don't know that.
Right.
He goes in the ambulance at the end of the movie.
I want to believe he pulls through. He pulls through, for sure. It has to happen that way, dude.
It's very possible, but you're like, oh, they spent this whole movie trying to get this guy insulin, and then a scene later he gets shot. Epic. So Poe meets Billy Bedlam below. Billy Bedlam, another one of these convicts. And Billy Bedlam's going through his box of personal belongings and realizes he's a parolee. He's not a lifer like the rest of them. Poe kills him. They get a fight. So the both of them, Poe comes up. Garland Greene, played by Steve Buscemi, starts talking to him about the difference between murder and murder by necessity and murder for excitement.
Right.
Poe calls him insane, and his response is, "What if I told you insane was working 50 hours a week in some office for 50 years, at the end of which they tell you to piss off, ending up in some retirement village, hoping to die before suffering the indignity of trying to make it to the toilet on time? Wouldn't you consider that to be insane?" I was like, damn, why did they put this in the movie?
Yeah.
What was that? This guy is possibly the most based character
It's
alive. So basically what he's saying is you should probably do what you want in life.
Yes.
In his case, means
killing people,
murdering a bunch of people. Yeah.
Yeah, he tells the little girl, she's like, "Are you sick?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Do you take medicine?" And he's like, "They don't have medicine for what I have." Right? So, but you make a good point, dude. It's like, when you hear that, imagine people watching this, right, in the summer blockbuster, and he drops this line. It's like, you do a little self-reflection in your theater seat after he says it, like
100%.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, damn, dude, I fucking hate my job. I don't want to go to work on Monday. Like, oh, dude, I got to do this for another 20 years.
Yeah, just start killing people.
But then you realize, oh, wait, what he wants to do is just murder families.
Yeah, it's probably
It's
better.
like,
Than you realize, I do kind of need money to live. I mean, they didn't destroy the economy, in the back in the 90s, but yeah, you could still afford to live in this time period. It's like, okay, I can deal with the 50 hours a week job to have a nice home, right? Not be in jail the rest of my life.
You could still do that in the 90s, yes.
But right. In theory, though, this ideology, he is correct. I do like it.
Epic hero actor alert. Holy smokes. Did you catch this? The guy who is flying the Cessna, who happens to be landing at Lerner Airstrip at the same time as the convicts, he is the airport security guy from Fight Club. The genius level actor, Bob Stevenson.
Did not catch that at all. It's the dude who like runs away and runs into the desert.
Yeah. Yep.
With like the Hawaiian shirt on. Nah, I did not catch that.
That's the same homie from Fight Club. Is like, it's a dildo.
This guy rules. Did not catch that at all. But speaking of the Lerner airstrip, what a great set. I'm assuming that this is an abandoned airstrip, but the detail that they have in it, I thought was just really cool. Down to like the Marlboro product placement where they have like a little cafe set up where Poe is at one point. I just think it's just a more attention to detail, a really nice set. I don't know what it is about it, but the most depressing part about the whole thing is it shows a sign for gas. Did you catch that?
I didn't catch this. Talk to me about the
gas is $1.03.
Damn, that's at War on Terror prices, dog.
$1.03, 19.
That's before. So, like, if $1.03 is insane. Yeah. That's wild. Now, just real quick, like, how much you spending on a fill up your tank?
Well, I guess we're right around $2.89. Close. It's tickling $3. I got about 24 gallons in my truck, so I'm right around like the $80 range.
How long does it take you to go through a tank?
Like a week.
That is wild. Do you know that, like, I only have I was looking at this the other day because I'm looking across at Wawa. I'm looking across and I see people putting like $100 in. I'm like, what's going on here? My tank is only like 9 gallons. Yeah. Are you privy to this?
No, that's insane.
So I have this tiny gas
Are you
tank.
filling up like everything?
And
well, you get way. I only get like I get 21 miles a gallon. What do you get?
I don't know. Maybe like 30 or some shit because it's lasting me a week.
Yeah.
The last time I put in like $20 some in to fill it up.
It's kind of alarming.
And it's lasting me like a week. Now I don't go in the office all that much, only 2 days or whatever.
So
I'm not really driving around that much. Right. But like, damn, dude, I was like, holy smokes. So other people at Wawa, they're putting up like $100 into like an expedition or something.
Do you recall a time, you probably do better than I do, but I can recall it, when gas was below $1?
Yeah, 100%. I was just going to say, it was right before they went into Iraq.
Okay. Yep. 100%.
I distinctly remember it because I would go over to this certain way, and there was a gas station on the corner when I went to karate back in the year, I don't know, 2001, 2002. And there was I remember it being 90 some cents, and I was like, holy shit. That seems absurd.
See, I remember, I could have sworn it was early 90s. Are you sure it wasn't, it was after?
It might have been.
Because either way, I remember.
I mean, early 90s, yeah, probably. But like, I'm saying like, there was a time where it went up above $1. Mm-hmm. And then I remember like something weird happened and be like, dude, gas is under $1 right now. It's like 93 cents.
Yeah. Oh,
and
it might. Yeah, probably shot the time. Right. It shot back down. I'm talking early 90s because we would go down on vacation to the Outer Banks every year, and we'd take this Winnebago, and my dad, my pap they would just kind of, trade off driving through the night. And my dad would be like, no, we have to wait until we get down south, like below Virginia, to get gas. So he would be like hell bent on getting down there because it was like always under $1. I just vividly remember that. I was like, all right, dude, $3 a gallon now. How much is it these days?
It's like $2.87.
Yeah, $2.87.
Which actually is pretty low.
Yeah, consider
compared to what it's been.
Yeah. Either way, man. I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but yeah, 103. Press F. That'll never happen again.
So Poe gets attacked by these 3 Colombians when he's walking around in the Lerner Air Force, the airstrip, and Larkin shows up, pulls his gun. Poe takes the opportunity to disarm the Colombians and beat them all up, leading to a standoff between Poe and Larkin. First up, this fight scene is completely insane. He's got a gun pointed at his head, disarms the guy, hits another guy, and like does a spinning heel kick on another guy within a second. Incredible.
Well, no, because Larkin he says freeze, right? Draws the guy's attention,
distracts the guy,
so he disarms the guy. Pretty standard. Then he does this. He does this move multiple times. The move where he bends the dude's arm back and snaps it. But yeah, he takes out the one dude's legs or something. I would say doable.
I would say that Cameron Poe's fighting style is awesome in this movie.
Yes, I would agree.
whatever he's doing, it's incredible. So, Larkin asks what he's going to do. They have this little standoff, and Larkin realizes it's Poe. Okay, this is my guy on the plane. Let's be friendly here. Asks him what he's going to do, and Poe's response is completely insane. He goes, "What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to save the fucking day."
Yeah, dude. Great.
Like, what?
Great line.
Dude?
Great line.
Dude, imagine if you're a federal agent. Larkin is this U.S. Marshal, and this convict is like, "What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to save the fucking day."
Yeah. It's
like,
okay.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about this. Let's strategize, because obviously now we have two people as opposed to one of each of us. Let's come up with a game plan. Nah, he just turns his back and just walks out.
Okay, you're keeping it vague. Okay.
Love it.
I feel you. All right. Poe turns around, walks off, and I'm like, bro, do you realize that Nick Cage got jacked for this movie?
Yeah.
Did you know that going into this?
He's pretty stacked. Yeah. Well,
I was impressed.
He's doing the push-ups at the opening scene, and the handstand push-ups in his cell. Like, yeah, this dude's pretty yoked. Absolutely.
He's got a prison workout going on, but I'm like, Cap Delt's pretty thick back. Natty?
I don't know if I'd say natty. I mean, the more I've learned about Hollywood actors, they just juice up nowadays for roles. I would say, 90s, I would say probably not natty. You?
I think this is an achievable physique, Natty, but I don't think that your average actor is going to be doing the work that it's necessary to be getting this physique. But I kind of refuse to believe that anything's natty anymore.
It's true. I mean,
but
yeah. They put these guys on some pretty rigorous schedules, and I did read back in the 90s that these guys would train pretty hard and diet pretty hard. So I'd say right on the cusp. I wouldn't be surprised either way. Poe is reasoning with Cyrus and Dog not to kill the guards so they can use them as leverage, right? And Dog starts yelling, and Poe's he gives like the most non-believable response. He goes, "Come on, man. Don't you want to get high and get laid?" But the way he says it, it's like so not believable. It's like, hey, I'm the same. Hello, fellow kids. Don't you want to get high and get laid? Come on, dog.
Like this jovial nature to him all of a sudden appears. And you're like, excuse me?
He's trying to play it like he got caught off guard and he's coming up with something, but it just comes off as like super insane. Love it.
Did you notice how many times Larkin almost dies by something flying at his head in this movie? I counted at least 3 times.
Really? I didn't catch that.
One where there's an explosion in Cyrus's cell.
Yeah.
And it shoots the door at his head. Another one where he like pops his head up and the plane's engine comes right by his head. And then there's another one somewhere, I kind of forget. But on the third one, I was like, is this some gag that the director's doing where they're just having this guy almost die all these different times?
It's very possible. I've definitely heard stories where, a director comes up with something. They won't tell him. They just do something. They'll write it in.
Yeah.
Just to kind of fuck with them. So it wouldn't surprise me.
Curiously enough, he almost dies all these times. And then at the end of the movie, just launches himself off the fire truck.
Yeah.
And you're like, that could have just as easily as killed him too, but he wasn't affected. He wasn't mentally affected by that at all.
Larkin.
It's like
he's come full circle. He is a complete agent now. There's the scene where Sandino tries to get away with this plane. I guess he's like one of these Colombian dudes, and they have the secret plan to get away or whatever. This is like such an awesome kill sequence where he's falling out of the plane. He's like, "Cyrus, help me!" And it just for effect, I guess. But there's just gasoline poured everywhere on the ground. Cyrus takes the cig from this dude's mouth and just flicks it. But the guy's like saying, Cyrus, like, "Cy," and then Cyrus goes, "Anara." And then it just like blows up. Like, dude, this is so over the top 90s, but it's awesome. Like, you think about this, you're watching this in the 90s blockbuster film. Dude, this is it right there.
You're like, whoa, Cy, Anara, whoa, cool, dude.
It's just like, this is why I love this movie, dude. It's so good. And speaking of, we didn't really get a loadout check for this movie. I kind of noticed it was peppered with a bunch of different rifles. You got some shotguns in there, handguns. Anything noteworthy that you saw?
Not really. The only thing that's noteworthy is the fact that this is, 97 this came out?
Yeah.
And the thing that I notice about these things is that, you see different eras of guns in these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all those guys had a bunch of M16s.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Like, that's a 20-inch barrel and shotguns, like these pump action shotguns.
Yeah.
Nothing is... After the assault weapons ban got rid of in, I think it was 2002, all of a sudden, the gun world was like, let's just start selling all sorts of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the gun world is as it exists today is product of the fact that they have this market of people that they've been selling to for 20 years.
Right.
And during the 90s, that didn't exist because there was this thing, the assault weapons ban. So as a result, the technology of weapons wasn't really as advanced as it is now.
Mm.
Even though like the weapons are very similar, you just have a 20-inch. So what I'm trying to say is all these guys, they have all like the cops, where they get the weapons from is in the plane. So all the guards have just regular shotguns and just M16s, which are pretty general, no optics or anything.
Yeah.
And it's just a product of the times of like the assault weapons ban and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's like, you'll see that in 90s movies. Like, I think we talked about it when we were talking about Speed.
Yeah.
And all the SWAT guys have all these 90s era type gear and 90s era loadouts.
Yep.
And that's the thing that I kind of pick up on is like in this movie, like, yeah, there's nothing special about this. There's just bare bones M16s, shotguns. That's it. Effective.
Iron sights. Yeah.
Iron sights. Yeah. So, like we talked about, Cyrus just shoots Baby-O. He's on the ground losing blood, saying, "This is so crazy, dude. I was watching this and I was like, dude, this is a little bit much for me. All I can think about is God don't exist." Camera cuts to Poe and he goes, "I'm going to show you God does exist." Like, what, dude? How much cocaine were these writers doing back then?
I think
this is unbelievable stuff, man.
Yeah.
This scene, that's just pure coke, man. And we need that back in this country, dog. That's what. Real petition, dude. Everyone talks politics and everything. We just need pure coke back in this country.
That'll save the movie.
So you don't have to worry about killing yourself through fentanyl.
Yeah, it'll save the movie industry. It'll save many lives.
It'll save the economy.
Did you notice? Yeah, there you go. Did you notice this actor, McKelty Williamson, that plays Baby-O? You know who he is.
Yeah.
So he's Bubba Gump.
Yeah.
Did you notice that he just dies or he's dying in Poe's arms? It's like, they were just like, okay, we're just going to have him do the same thing. We're only having this act, which he's a good actor. It looks like, I looked at his IMDb. He apparently does some work still, quite a bit. And it's like, they just had him do the exact same thing. It's like, no, Bubba, don't die. What was Forrest Gump? Was that 94? Yeah, 94. Yep. So they're like, all right, just bring on Bubba Gump, have him die. That's his role.
One of the things I noticed, like a big part of this movie is whether they shoot the plane down or not, because Duncan Malloy wants to shoot the plane down because he's a hard ass. Mm-hmm. They killed my guy. I'm going to go shoot him down with attack helicopters, right? And Larkin's like, no, Cameron Poe's on the plane and he's a good guy. Don't shoot him down, right? Which, by the way, that sounded cringe, but that's literally the dialogue that takes place pretty much.
Literally.
So
there's a lot of morality in these movies. You know what I mean? It's like, I trust him to do the right thing. This is our guy in the air. Well, how can you prove that?
Yeah, like
there's a ton of convicts who we need to kill. It's like, well, nah, dude, we got a good guy on board. It's like not even worried about their own agents.
He's an Army Ranger.
What the status of the other agents are, which they had a guy, right? And seemingly Malloy could care less. It's the guy that they gave the gun to. They don't know that he's dead. Maybe they did. Maybe they did mention it, but it's like, okay, he's not too concerned about that guy.
It could have happened to any one of us, he says. A drunken bar fight could have happened to any one of us. That this is the exact dialogue in the movie trying to hype. Whereas in real life, they'd be like, yeah, shoot that plane down with missiles. Now. Which, by the way, the helicopter pilot is like, yeah, this is our last chance to shoot him down in the desert where there's not going to be any collateral damage.
Right.
And they're like,
got to make an executive decision.
Wait a second. Let me think about it, because Cameron Poe is flying the plane. We don't want him to die. But then again, there's the Vegas Strip right over that mountain. And if we don't shoot him down right now, they're going to crash.
Take out hundreds
into
of innocent
Vegas.
people. Yeah, possibly. But got to make a decision here.
So basically, the right decision is to just shoot the plane.
You would think, right? I mean, I'm making that call 10 out of 10 times.
I mean, dude, the plane lands on the Vegas Strip a minute later and somehow doesn't kill anyone.
Literally.
Think about that for a second. There's probably a trillion people. I'm making that up. I'm being hyperbolic. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. But there's a lot of people on the Vegas Strip. Wow. And it's like, bro, this plane comes down, number one, doesn't blow up. Then it doesn't hit anyone else, to my knowledge.
Bro,
anyway,
it's because Swamp Thing's flying the plane, bro.
He is an expert. I default to him. That is a good point.
He's going to find his landing.
Is that guy... I need a whole prequel about Swamp Thing and his life. I want to know more about his character, to be honest with you. Is this a Vietnam bet?
Yeah, dude.
I'm getting a real Vietnam vibe from this guy.
Yes, bro. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. That's why. He saves the day.
All right. So this plane goes down. Cyrus, Diamond Dog, and Swamp Thing zip out the bottom of the plane, and no one sees them. And they just jump on this fire truck. Okay. And I'm like, everything. This is where the movie is just completely, it goes off the rails for me.
This is why the writer got pissed and he quit.
First off, like, I want to break down the scene of everything that just blows my mind. But the idea that Larkin, a federal agent, sees the dude, Cyrus, on the top of the truck driving away. He just jumps on a motorcycle, and Cameron Poe has the same thought. They look at each other and they're like, fuck it. Let's do it.
We've all.
Like, that would end, like, any of this would ever happen in real life. Like, oh, dude, you're my homie. Mm-hmm. Let's ride. Let's ride.
Fuck it, we ball. Yeah, dude.
So they're like, they're flying after, they get on these motorcycles, they're flying after this fire truck. So Cyrus gets on top. He starts shooting the water at him. I'm like, how did you miss, dude? How did you miss these two guys behind your truck?
Yeah.
The two of them split, and Cyrus just decides not to shoot them and shoots a cop instead. So anyway, Cameron Poe speeds up with the motorcycle, grabs onto the ladder, and the motorcycle just keeps going faster than the truck somehow, even though no one's on it or using the accelerator, hits the back of the truck and blows up.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that would happen.
What? Okay, that blew my mind right there. I was like, wow, incredible. So this whole thing, like, at that point, I was checked out. I was like, all right, whatever. This, it's like, how does anyone survive? Did you notice, like, at the end, they start shooting the water in the cab, the truck goes off, and the homie driving flies through the windshield. Did you notice that?
Yeah. So, dude, this is the real crime in this movie is the writing. I mean, yeah, it's over the top throughout the movie, but it's still conceptually possible. And they do a really good job. That's why I got to agree with the writer on this, man, taking a walk. Cause it's like, this is just a bit much. I get, all bets are off. These guys are trying to salvage their freedom. Crazy shit could happen. But yeah, this is just like a bit much. That's like the real downfall of this movie.
The reason I say it, the guy that is driving flies through the windshield, and obviously I guess he's dead. Yeah. I assume he is, because that's gnarly. But Larkin is on the top, and what does he do? He jumps off when this thing is going, like, I don't know. How fast is this truck going? 50? 40? 50? He jumps off and, like, sees a car next to the truck, jumps off the speeding truck, and just lands on the roof and spins off like it's nothing, dog. Even better, Cameron Poe is on the top, the thing's speeding towards he just jumps off himself, except there's no car there. He just lands on the ground.
It's Cameron Poe, dog.
It's like the most insane shot, too. He jumps off and he's just waving his arms.
Yeah, dude.
And it doesn't show the impact, but you're like, I think he's about to hit the ground and break every bone in his body. All his ribs are broken. All his arms are broken now. His legs.
What do you think he's been doing for 7 years, bro? He's been training for this moment.
Training. He's been training like a motherfucker. He's getting that core strength up. Are you kidding me? That's how you do it. That's how you become indestructible, dog. Isometrics training. That's the prison workout. I see that on YouTube, dog. The prison workout. That's how he did that.
Yeah.
And then after this, of course, we just had the Kino cheese ending.
Yeah, this ending, I kind of do like this. It's like, it warms my heart a little every time. But
get you a little bit?
Yeah. You get the whole family hug and he gives her the doll and he's like, brush it off. It's all dirty. But like, one thing that I always joke with my wife about, and so I'm like, dude, this little girl makes the most insane face. Like the music's playing and it just shows her and she looks like terrified when she's going in to hug him at the end. And it gets me every time. I'm like, oh, what a nice warm embrace. And this little girl looks she's terrified to hug this dude.
You didn't buy it. So what if wouldn't you be terrified of this maniac dude though? With a receding hairline?
To be fair, yeah. The girls I've met in real life, it's like, oh, this psycho's my dad. This hairline.
This dude, I just watched him dive off a fully speeding.
I thought my dad was 33.
Fire truck.
I thought my dad was 33. Why does this dude have gray hair and a receding hairline? It's like,
oh my God. What's your Kino rating for this movie, King? I gotta know.
This is an 8.3 for me. About as peak 90s as you're going to get. Aside from, in the 90s, aside from like the era of 80s action movies, but great cast in this movie. They're not like elite actors, but like I'd mentioned before, it's like the right blend to make this thing as crazy as possible. And like I said before, man, the storyline is really good. I think it's a cool storyline, original. There may have been something that came before this, who knows? But I like it. I like this movie. 8.3. You?
Yeah, I mean, 8 out of 10. Perfect example of 90s cheese core. But something that we didn't mention at all during this podcast, this episode, is the fact that I always bring this specific movie up, Con Air, when I talk about superhero movies. Yeah. And it's like, why don't we have Con Air anymore? Why don't we have The Rock? The Rock, Con Air, Face Off, 3 movies right there where they're taking a huge chance. This is an insane movie that someone wrote. And all these actors are in it and everything. You have an ensemble cast here, right?
Yep.
You don't have any of this stuff anymore because superhero movies exist as the summer blockbusters now. Mm-hmm. Now you have the Eternals.
Yeah, man, this is a $75 million budget film. It grossed $225 worldwide. I mean, this is, I have to consider that's 1997. But yeah, dude, I guess that's it. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but it's just superhero, and that's the whole superhero movie thing has seemingly fizzling out. So I don't know. Do you think we'll see a resurgence of these type of movies one day?
No, because you need to take a chance to make this movie. That Hollywood took a chance because Con Air is not an established IP, and what you had back then was like established stars that sold the movie. Oh, Nick Cage movie coming out this summer. Holla. Let's go to that.
Plus, there's not enough real cocaine in Hollywood.
That's the bottom line. I mean, we just need to bring coke back. I don't care what the censors say. We need to bring cocaine back now.
Oh boy.
So anyway, yeah, speaking of cocaine, next week we have the comedy classic Super Troopers that we will be talking about anyway.
Until then, catch you on the next one.